Red Nose Day. And so one day a year I wear this shirt over and over again. Also, it's Double Page Friday. I'm not sure what came over me when I created this kit and then decided I would actually go ahead with this, but I'm doing a double page. It is still me. It's not Invasion of the Body Snatchers. I'm going to do a double page. I rarely do them. There was a time when it's all I did. When I first started scrapbooking, I pretty much only did double pages. So it's not that it's completely outside my wheelhouse. It's just not my comfiest zone. But sometimes it is really useful. I'm interested to see how this plays out, to see if I feel I've printed enough photos, because I decided to print more, and then I'm looking at it now and I still don't think it might be enough. But it's too much to put on a single page. So that's the winner. A little disclaimer today that because of the double page framing, I have a lot less flexibility in the framing on your screen. And that means it's going to be a lot easier for me to accidentally knock something out of the shot. I'm going to try to be really on it watching the monitor, but if I miss something and I've gone out of the shot, please, those of you in the live chat, do not hesitate to shout at me to tell me that I've moved out of the shot, because it's going to be really easy for me to do today. Right, I already have to do the whole talking and reading and scrapbooking at the same time. I'm not sure if I can handle an extra layer of, can you also make sure that the double page stays in the shot? But I'm going to try. That's enough in my face. Let's go. So we have got pages that I have made with March supplies so far. We have this one from Starting Point of a torn edge and some other little bits. We have this one with 2 3x4s with a starting point of torn strips across the middle on top of a neutral color. We have this one, which was your big Friday challenge of, can I put the really busy photos on the really busy background and not have it be too overwhelming, distracting? How can we bring some focus back in? The trick was a bit of black cardstock and some vellum. So that was from last week. And then from this Monday, 2 3x4s with a little twist on quadrants. So these are quadrant boxes, but shrunk down to be a smaller size rather than fill the whole page. So that's what I've done with March so far. And then we have this set of papers to create this double page spread. Now, hopefully you're going to see that I've got a bit more in shadow than normal. So if I move that, I think we're all right. So I've been trying to do a little planning here with the die cuts that we have in this kit to see what would work with this paper design. So I've got all the text pieces out to have a look at them. I've got the butterflies. I've got a little frame here and all these daisies. I thought they're different floral, but I think the daisies are simple enough that they could work with the floral that's in the pattern paper. So this is what the 2-page pattern paper looks like. Could I have used it just as it is, theme and all, and done a whole bunch of photos from the actual 100-acre wood? Yes, I totally can. Am I possibly regretting my life choices that I said I wouldn't do that? Possibly, yes. But I'm up for the challenge of doing something different with it. So that's what I'm going to do. Just out of curiosity, what were the B-sides here? Clouds with birds and yellow floral. So maybe I just need to buy an extra set of these papers. Okay, so here we have, oh, George is reading my mind. A portrait 4x6, a landscape 4x6, another landscape 4x6, and 2 landscape 3x4s. So this is what I'm going to put all across here. And I actually thought there is the potential that I might swap out this one for another photo that hasn't happened in life yet, but I'm going to wait for that day to happen and then see if I want to make a separate layout about that, or do I put it in here? So backtrack a little bit. So these are all photos of people who've come to see WB in the show, but this month. And normally in my album, that all goes in a pocket page. And I just have the pictures of everybody and I put them in a pocket. And that's like, because I have one side will be, well, I have a few different pocket pages like this going. I have one that's him, he always takes a picture outside the theater before he goes in, and he does all different crazy poses and stuff. So I have those on one side of a pocket sheet. I have a picture of each bow if I can get one. Then I have those all on a pocket sheet. And then if there are people who came to see him, I have those on a pocket sheet. And that usually balances with the other side of that pocket sheet. I put pictures of anything else I went to see. March, I have actually gone to see other shows. It's exciting. Some months I only see his show. But this month I've gone to see other things. So this time, however, I've got some special guests. So a massive group of teachers from his school came to see him last night, which was super exciting because that's never happened before. Nobody from school ever came to see Les Mis, except for one after school person, not class teacher. And then this year they just decided, okay, we're going to do like a group outing. And so the whole group of them came. And when he came out of stage door, you would have thought it was Elvis because they all screamed and jumped up and down like videos from the 60s, I tell you. So that was really cool. And then we have Corey and her family who came to see the show all the way from America. Also very cool. So I thought this deserves a special page more than just putting them in pockets because I've got journaling about all of that too. Then the reason I was thinking I might swap this photo out. So I've put a bow photo in here, but I could swap this photo out because he has a really close friend from school who's coming this weekend. He has no idea. And I'll definitely try to find a way to get a picture of them together if possible. And so I could put that in here, or if I get great pictures, maybe that gets a single page on their own, but it's also a matinee, which means he may not get to come out and say hello at all. So it's a big question mark. So I'm going to go ahead and just scrap what I've got. If I swap it later, great. If I don't, also great. I'm doing way too much talking and not enough scrapping. Okay. So that's what we're going to do today. I'm going to do my speech. And while I mat these photos, I'm going to tell you a story about double page planning. There we go. Don't let me forget. Hello, my name's Shimelle. I teach online scrapbooking classes, design scrapbooking products, and help you use them to tell your stories in a creative way. It's not just my hobby, it is my job, so that means anytime you scrapbook on the internet, it's considered advertising, and legally I need to make sure that you're aware of that. So thank you for coming to watch my #advertising. He told me that I'm missing a trick by not adding jazz hands here, or spirit fingers. #advertising. So what do we think? Anyway, whether you are a live viewer, talkative, chatty type person, watch from Tomorrowland in the future, leave comments, don't leave comments, quiet, crafty, not crafty, maybe you want to become crafty, all of it. You're all welcome here. And if you want to join in live chat, you just need to subscribe to the channel, and 5 minutes later you can chat in the live. Anything that you see me used here, you can find a link to in the description box with this video. You can also find links to my classes, to my Instagram, all of that sort of stuff. My Facebook group, where if you create something that's inspired by anything you've seen here in classes on whatever, or you just wanted to scrapbook it, you can share there. It's called Scrapbook Like a Superhero, and it's on a little good tick at the moment. So if you want to join us there, that's cool. What else? Oh, and in terms of supplies, so if you want the supplies that I'm using today, that would be the March link. But there's also the link for April, which is what I'll use all of next month. So you have time to order that and scrap along with me next month. Mine is already here, and I'm excited for that. I think that's enough of me talking. Let's go. All right, so this thing about planning double page spreads. I'm going to tell you a little story about an hour ago. So at 9 o'clock on the dot, I was at my desk going, it's a double page. I need to be organized. This requires thought. This is not something I can do on autopilot. I need to think this through. So I started looking at double pages I've made in the past, double pages I've pinned on Pinterest in the past, double pages that I could like sketch out, like where could the photos go? And I felt like I had spent about 7 minutes. Now I know I am that stereotype of the person who is slightly creative, loses all track of time. But this was an extreme for me because I felt like I'd spent 7, maybe 10 minutes. I started at 9 o'clock on the dot. I then realized it was 9:57. Okay, that's really bad even for me. So what I'm going to tell you is it's going to be way, way, way possible to overthink, over-engineer, and over-research placement of photos on a double-page spread. I'm letting that sink in. Because, I mean, it was just, it's extreme. Even for me, that was bonkers. My normal, like, I've hit a creative little path, and now I'm on, I've lost track of time, is more like I start at 9 and it's 9:27, 9:37 maybe, not 9:57. So there we go. It's going to be really easy. All right. So I have this many photos. I'm going to build the background first and take that thing out of the way. Because that figuring out where all the photos are going to go, that is what that was the 57 minutes figuring out where they're going to go. No. And me going, oh no, I need more photos. How can I make this work? So instead, I'm going to work on the background first, put the photos on top. Joanna's like, it's never bonkers to have a big thing. Oh, it can be. It's that line. I've been thinking. That's dangerous. Right, so we're going to bring in a journaling space over to the right-hand side. That is going to be about 4 inches wide and about 10-ish inches tall. I'm just going to take it down to the top here, like that. Auntie Caffeine is using coffee table style page layouts in her paper scrapbooking to get rid of that problem. So one side is an 8.5 by 11. One side is a layout with the photos and the other side is 8.5 by 11 with journaling. Are both 8.5 by 11? Or that's a 12 by 12 and then an 8.5 by 11 and then you alternate? I think both could work. I'm just curious which way you're doing. What happened to my paper? Is this the right one? Which one is right? Why have I put them next to each other? That's black. This is brown. Okay, browning today. Okay, she has a 12 by 12 that's the scrapbook page and then 8.5 by 11 journaling. Oh! Okay, 8.5 by 11 journaling page on a 12 by 12 sheet of paper. Got it. Feels a bit museum card that way, I guess, too. Yeah. Cool. So this is going to join in this over here, but I want to keep the flower here. Oh, Joanna says, as a teacher, I talk to my students about the value of thinking rather than just being driven to do. Didn't you make that a part of your teaching? Yes, but no. Not to the point of paralysis. It's like that saying about, oh, the customer is always right. And modern capitalist thoughts have finished the statement there. But the original line is, the customer is always right in matters of taste. Meaning, if you go into the wallpaper store and you pick the ugliest wallpaper, but you really love the ugly wallpaper, ugly is a matter of taste. So they should still sell you the wallpaper. Obviously, they're selling it. That's a terrible kind of example of it, but that's the idea, that we've lost the end of that phrase. So, yes, the value of thinking is really, really important, but not to a point of paralysis, because I'm sitting here spending 57 minutes wondering where I can put these on a page, and you tell me, do I actually know how to do that? Do I already have that skill? Yes. So why am I going to spend 57 minutes convincing myself I do not? So that's not helpful thinking. Now, what is helpful thinking is going, where can I start with something that I know I can do, and then get to the point of the part that I'm going to find harder, and use it in a little bit of, in a more constructive way, so that I'm not just taking 57 minutes and convincing myself that I can't do something. And I know that I scrapbook here live all the time. If I convince myself that I can't do it, then that's not something that I should be teaching to you. Georgia has got it. 57 minutes is procrastinating into a spiral of doom. Yeah, it's the kind of procrastination that comes from self-doubt and going, oh, this is out of my wheelhouse, so maybe I don't know how to do it. Rather than, okay, so find the part you know how to do with confidence and build on it. Okay, so there we go. I definitely think that thinking is a good thing. But that 57 minutes was not productive thinking. That was procrastination into self-doubt and basically convincing myself that I didn't know how to do something that I definitely know how to do. It's fine. Anyway, so this is going to go here, but I want it tucked behind here. And I'm terrible with a craft knife. I hope, Joanna, that I haven't upset you there. I hope that makes sense. Okay, right. So if you were good with a craft knife, here would be your correct way to do this. The best way to do this would be to be good with a craft knife and come in here and cut 1, 2, 3, somehow around this postage stamp. Good luck with that. And then around this flower. But I am not good with a craft knife. And if I did that, we'd all just be watching me need to stop the live and call for an ambulance. So we're not going to do that. Here's the other way to do it. See how this bit is going to be covered up? So it doesn't matter if this side is a hot old butchered mess, if this side is nice and clean. Are you ready? Nope, this is printed. And I promised I would show you how to make this not Winnie the Pooh. Ready? So this part doesn't matter. Now what you need to do is A, not go lower on the page than where you want to put your box. And you have to cut an actual hole to give yourself room to maneuver your scissors around this. So it is going to look a butchered mess, but you know what's better to butcher? The paper, not your hands. So we cut a space here. And I'm going to quickly sharpen these. Auntie Caffeine says, how could it be not Winnie the Pooh when the map will show. Because the map is a map. Yes, if you go looking super closely, it's 100 Acre Wood, but you can split the difference. She first typed 1,000 Acre Wood. In the books, it's 100 Acre Wood, but in real life, it's the 500 Acre Wood. He just changed it because it sounded a bit better in the story. So, 1,000 Acre Wood. We get there. So how are we? It's this top plate I wanted to sharpen. Sorry. So yes, the map will show, but this map is really quite subtle. And if you're putting a bunch of blocks and photos over the top, here we go. Then you're going to have to really be paying attention to the map to be drawn into the Winnie the Pooh element. That's what I mean. Is this a little hidden Mickey? I think so. Okay. It is a big wood either way. It definitely is. The hikes we've done there, and I have not explored anywhere near as much as Christopher Robin has. So we're going to go in here. Now, I'm not worried about the postage stamp edge because I know that I'm putting other stuff on top of there anyways. So I'm just going to cut it as a rectangle. Okay, and remember, sometimes you're going to need to take the scissors underneath. Okay, this part I can just cut off. So yes, I have a massive hole in my page, but it's not going to matter because we're going to do that. Now, decide, do you want this actually to overlap the blue a little bit more, in which case we need to cut this yellow a bit further. I also think this box needs to be slightly smaller. Oh, yeah, so, yes, we have been to the real 100 Acre Wood many times. It is in Ashdown Forest, which is in Sussex, and you can walk it, and it is very true to the books. Like, he did describe, like, this copse of trees, those 6 pine trees are real and still there. Like, you can see all of these things. And there are certain elements where you can totally see how easy it was to create the stories because, like, for example, the whole idea of Eeyore having a cloud that follows him around. The part of the part with where Eeyore lives in the story, when you get there, that part is in a little bit of a valley that even on a sunny day, it casts shadows from a cloud on a sunny day. Yeah, and so it does look like there are little clouds following anybody in that field. Makes total sense. I've seen the Heffalump trap, which is like a natural hole. I wonder if years and years ago it was like a sinkhole, but it is a big hole in the forest. All that sort of stuff. Yep. And whenever we go, he dresses like Christopher Robin and carries a Winnie the Pooh around. Okay, so we're going to have a journaling box there. I'm just looking to see if I still like the ratio of that. I think I do. And I'm going to go ahead and start here. So I'd like to keep a bit of that yellow frame behind this frame that I'm going to add in. Let me check my framing again here. And yes, if you're better with a craft knife, do it with a craft knife. But I am not good with a craft knife. Doesn't matter what technique I do with it. I am a hazard to my own health with craft knife. So I don't do it. All right, so I would like a bit of framing there. I want the flower to show. So this is going to end here. There's going to be something on top of that, so I'm not worried about that edge. And then here. See, I run out of room to put my offcuts. Okay, so let's go ahead and stick that down. So this was from the die cut pack. So far, I'm still all stuff in the kit. So we're offset a little bit. We get yellow edge here, but then we have the cream colored edge or the notebook paper edge on that side. Flower is going to remain on show, but we're going to have some, okay, I don't want the flowers together. I like to bring in something like this, but look, the colors are very different. Paper piercer rather than scissors. Oh, you mean to stab it? Yeah, you can do to stab the paper with your paper piercer rather than just cut your scissors in. Yeah, you can totally do that. Okay, interesting. I think maybe if I use the text pieces first, then other bits will end up cool. See, that is just not the same vibe. Can I make that work? And I want something else in here too. Such different colors. I really want to use these die cuts and I'm running out of live streams. Okay. What about, I've got the die cut pack up here. Okay, I can probably bring in the yellow and the orange easily enough. And Jean says, stay away from the blade. I think that's probably very good advice for me. In case you are ever in a quest to get better with a craft knife, I do know that the problem I have is regulating the pressure. And I think part of that comes from the way I learned to letter and draw. And I think for some reason for me, the two skills work against each other in terms of cutting with a blade. Because I want my head thinks that it should work like a pen. And I've even tried the ones that are advertised that they work like a pen. And I end up just a hot mess because the pressure is not the same and I don't seem to be able to adjust. Could I get better if I decided to spend a very long time and a lot of paper practicing? Of course I could, but I'm good with scissors, so I just do it that way. Cool. The shadows seem to be really extreme, even though the light doesn't seem extreme, so I'm going to see if I can help that a bit. I'm not sure. We'll find out. Okay. Text. Let's look at the tags. So we have there. Where have the Winnie the Pooh tags gone? They've all just gone right underneath. There we are. So we can let's bring in the floral one today, definitely. this one might work better on that side because I've got the big flower over here, so that would match it up. But what could I put in here? Why, oh why did I convince myself not to put the sticker sheet in here? Because I would have loved the sticker sheet at this point. Okay, I'm going to do a torn strip of this inside that frame, which I've already stuck down, which is silly. Why did I do that? Okay. So I just want this to be about there. I didn't need to tear it quite so far. Okay. And the pink in there. That's a bit more helpful. That pink is too bright. And what about trying to think of, I got in my head that butterflies would work really well with this paper, but actually I think maybe I need to bring in some stars. Do we think stars and flowers, like, you know, I love to mix random. Do stars and flowers give anybody the nerves and go, no, 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 those things don't go together? Because I'm thinking stars. Right, let's have a look. Can I put that thick 49 Market paper in this punch? I don't know. We're gonna try. It may or may not work. Okay, it works, and I get some sort of upper body workout at the same time. Okay, right. Let's do some stars. Oh, I agree, Sophia. I was not a natural. I didn't take naturally to Jane Austen. It took me more time. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, let's start with 3. Now I'll need Pappios for these, because my star punch is fancy. Oh, we haven't done random rubbish today, really. We've pretty much been on topic, aside from a little bit of philosophy. I did something in the random rubbish category. I did something fancy yesterday. Are you ready? You've heard my, I decided to do something brave and joined a choir. Well, these things just lead to one another. So last night I sang at Fancy Hotel on Park Lane. The hilarious bit is our uniform. It wasn't the whole choir. It was just a little group formed from people in the choir. And our uniform is basically concert black. Yeah. But our full choir is pretty informal. So I've always worn like black dress, black tights, black cardigan, whatever, and black Converse. But when they said, can you come do this gig at the Fancy Hotel, I was like, oh, I should probably not wear sneakers for that gig, right? So I went and bought a fancy pair of black shoes, because it turns out I have dress shoes or I have black shoes, but I didn't have black dress shoes, Because I don't get dressed up for things like this anymore. If I get dressed up, I'm going to do something statementy like I have red glitter shoes or I have gold glitter shoes. Also silver glitter shoes and multicolored glitter shoes. Okay, all my dress shoes are glitter. I just realized I'm sticking to this to the desk rather than the layout. Okay. I need a little bit more here before the star can go on top. But we're going to do that. So I bought black dress shoes yesterday. And then I sang. And it was quite enjoyable. It was really nice to hear a different kind of sound because I'm trying to figure out what's going to go there. Yeah, it was just a little different to have a small ensemble of like of selected singers rather than everybody. Kelly's like, of course your shoes are like that. You're glitter girl. Right. What about these little tags? If I got something that might work here. The floral right next to the floral doesn't work. I have lots of floral die cuts, but that won't help me. Okay, so what I want is a bit of like the green or the aqua. So what can I do from scraps that would work with that? Let's stop just panicking before I do that same thing. I'm not going to spend 57 minutes looking for something that would work when I know I can find something that would work. Yes. Look at me being productive. Also look at me dropping paper all over the floor. It's my favorite shelf. It'll be fine. And then I'll pick it up at the end. I promise, Georgia, I'll pick it up at the end. Hashtag organized. Right, so these are die cuts from previous kits. Does anything look vaguely the right color of green? Oh, maybe. That could work. And then I've got a second one to put on the other side. That could also work. I wouldn't have expected that to, but it does, I think. All right. Oh, I know what I should be pulling. Jen's collection that has disco balls and roller skates. Where would I have put that? What would I have filed it under? Oh, handy. I've filed the clear stickers. Does that mean that the... Oh, because the others are here. Okay. All right. Enough. See you later, Sophia. All right. Oh, remember all the stationery pieces? Oh. These work. Okay, so this is from a kit last year. Kelly has pale blue glitter shoes from Irregular Choice, which she calls her Cinderella shoes. I love that. Okay, we're going to put that one in there. And we're going to take this one and overlap it on Christopher Robin's feet. Look at that. attention to bring in, because I never use these, but there's one on the paper already. So I could add multiple stationery clips. Okay. So that was Simple Stories Noteworthy from last year. And then this is Jen's Groovy Collection. And I just wondered if maybe some text pieces might come in really handy here. I think I'm going to want that one on that side. Just going to tack it there and not actually stick it down. This one. Put this one on this side. I'm not liking the two phrases next to each other. That's why I'm looking at moving it up here. Okay. Sufficiently not Winnie the Pooh? Jolene, the one that's up for, can I say I think so, but I haven't done all the videos yet, so I'm not 100%. Jolene says, in your new monthly class, will you be doing the front? Oh, not the front 6x12 monthly page. No, I'm going to show those just publicly because, yeah, you don't have to pay to see that. I will once I'm working on it, I'll show it. Don't worry about that. But 6x12 pages in general will get shown there. Okay, so I have altered the cluster. It now looks like this, and it is not Winnie the Pooh themed. I think I want the other star down here though. Hold on, I showed you that too early. There. Okay. 3 stars. Obviously, it's going to have enamel dots too. Okay, so we have that, and let's work out that this is going to take up that much space. Am I in the frame here? Gotta be in the frame if you want to win the game. Are you ready for the big one? Ready! Right, that's your own private version of Starlight Express. I'm not gonna need more, definitely not. Onto caffeine. It looks a little bit, a teeny weeny bit shabby chic. It looks like something I would make. So if that, I would never have described myself as a shabby chic scrapbooker. So label what you want to label. It definitely looks like something I would embellish, like that frames and a bit of torn paper and some pop dots. Yeah. I'm not going to throw rotten vegetables at you. I think the reason you're probably picking up on shabby chic is there's pink and blue. But, there's nothing whitewashed. To me, I'm not, I haven't sanded edges. Nah, I don't get it. But you can say what you want. I don't mind. It's okay. I'm not offended. I just think it's funny. Yeah. whatever, sometimes visual styles make sense to one person and not another. So I don't see it, but I mean, I can see where you could get it with the pink and the blue, but like that's just on the pattern paper. So that's my guess. Right. So if we did, I think we need to come nearer the mid seam. Also, I want to come nearer the mid seam because I'm not sure why, but it doesn't line up perfectly. There's Rabbit's house. Here's Rabbit's house. There's a duplication. Okay. So the tricky part to double pages is that you end up with this open space in the middle very easily, especially if you're working from borders at the edge. So what I'd like to do, this is going to work out better here. Let's put the doubles on that side. Would you still include the bow photo? Yeah. Okay. I needed more of this blue in the kit. I'm really sorry that I did not add more of that color to make things easier for all of us. This color works though. So let's mat these here. I could have zoomed this in, but I like the train, so I kept it zoomed out. Overlap the white margin in the middle so that then the frame, all margins are equal. This was the teacher's idea, to have a photo with everybody having jazz hands, which I love. Did I ever play with the crepe paper collection All Heart? That sounds like a crepe paper Valentine collection, so the answer is probably yes. Let me quickly Google which one it is. Yeah, I did. I particularly remember the collage style cut apart. But yeah, I haven't used it recently to my knowledge, but I have done layouts with it when it was newer. Yeah, I want to say that I used it at the beginning of lockdown videos, but I'm not 100% sure. Yep. Definitely have used it though. Oh, the Lego set. So Corey and her family brought him flowers. Lego flowers. I love it. So I think he has plans to build them this Sunday because this week has been a rush from here to there. As if all the exams he had to do to get into school, secondary school, that wasn't enough exams. So this week has been mock exams for SATs, which are these tests that they take at the end of primary school that are largely a measure of the school's efficiency and effectiveness. Effectiveness more than efficiency, sorry. Yeah, and so they have a mock now to just make sure the teachers can see that everything's on track. Is there anything that, the class really could do with a bit more attention on? And so that was all of this week. And the cool bit was they opened school an hour early and fed them all cooked breakfast. So he, Monday to Thursday, went in at an hour early and had, like fresh cooked eggs and toast and bacon and sausage and everything. And then this morning was the first day it was back to normal, and it was just like mom cooking porridge in the kitchen. It's not as exciting. I still want that blue to come in, so I'm not going to stick this down just yet. I'm going to skip over this one and come to these and put them on the same color. Do I have any examples on my Insta? I'm saying that I used it 5 years ago. I would have no idea. So I can look and tell you at a later date, but I definitely do not have my Insta feed from 5 years ago memorized to know which layouts I posted and which ones I didn't. Sorry. Nope, don't know. I'm wondering, do I do the same here and overlap? They're hand cut, so it's going to be a little less perfect. But I think that works. So anyway, this week has been a little manic, and that was one of the things that the teachers said when they saw him at the end was like, I can't believe that you were in class this morning, and he had 2-show day yesterday, and then we said goodbye to you at morning break, and you've been here ever since, and you're still like awake and alert and chatty, and you'll be at school tomorrow on time, because they were all like, this is way too late for us to be out on a school night. Like, yep, I am a terrible parent. This is the part where you kind of feel pretty conflicted about how late your child is out on a school night regularly. 11:30. Yep. Yes, porridge is oatmeal. Yeah, but here's a revelation for you, Americans. I don't know. I grew up with making oatmeal, like the Quaker oatmeal packets, with water. We really don't make it with water here. You would always make it with milk, or in our house, make it with oat milk, which is hilarious because it's like adding more oats to oats. But I always liked oatmeal growing up, but now when I go back to America, if it's like hotel oatmeal and it's just porridge and water, I can't cope, because here you would I've never seen it made with water in this country. Maybe in rationing, I don't know. But yeah, but porridge, yeah. So he has porridge oats for breakfast with different toppings and things. That's his standard. And it's usually his standard because he can make it for himself, but after a show, he would prefer that I make it so that he can sleep a little later, which is fine. All right. So now a different paper to go behind here, and possibly also behind here. Noreen, is that your green face at the idea of making porridge with water? Jean's school had NAPLAN, which I assume is exams as well, and they had a breakfast for primary kids on the first morning. Lovely. Georgia is a fan of porridge made with chocolate oat milk. I haven't tried that. Right, what color? I mean, we could go red. I'd like to see if I've got anything in that blue, though. I don't know. Oh, last month we had navy. Hold on. I still have a navy sheet. It's a little darker, but it might be okay. Let's try it. Okay. Americans, have a look if you have Quaker oatmeal packets in your house. See if the instructions say like milk or water. Because it definitely could be a thing. Now that when I said, oh, maybe in rationing, I do wonder. Oh, Noreen just hates porridge. Sorry. Okay, so I wonder, like, I have seen it with water in American hotels, so it's not just my household, but I wonder if it is something that came out of like Depression era recipes that stayed around or something like that. I wonder. Yeah. Aw, Justine used to bake Mars bar banana bread for her exam kids. That's really nice. Yes, I did navy glitter thicker as well. Yeah, they're not as dark as I wanted them to be, but yeah. And I did navy that are properly navy, like chipboard thickers. Both of those are mine. Okay, Jolene says, yes, hotels that have water, and the packet says milk or water. Okay, I just want to make sure. Sometimes I wonder if my memory is fooling me because it has been, I've been here far longer than I was there, and sometimes I wonder if I've gotten confused. And I also, of course, you will also find out when you leave your hometown and all of these sorts of things, you find out there are things that are normal to you that were not normal to the wider world, and it might be your town or your family who are just a little bit oddball. So there we go. Oh, Noreen can cope with grits, just not oatmeal. That's hilarious. Okay. Right. This is stuck now. That gets us this. Do I keep them all separate? Because obviously these are going to be separate. So maybe I do that. See? Not 57 minutes of decision making. It did not need 57 minutes. Nope. Okay. But this does, however, need I think not another square layer, but some tuckies from that. Yeah. Okay. But I don't want to use the star because the star is just going to be gray. I'm going to do gray stars. So what kind of shape? Maybe a border punch? Do I add in a scallop here? Oh, I've got scallops on the paper. A border punch is perfectly acceptable. Okay, do the short edge here. I think the first time I ever had grits, I didn't realize that it wasn't oatmeal, and I do remember that being like what is happening? Not as bad as British baked beans, though. I cannot do British baked beans. I mean, I really can't do because I'm allergic to tomatoes. But but before I knew that, or before I was, I just assumed that baked beans were the same all over the world, and put British baked beans on my plate, took one bite, and thought I was eating like something that was rotten because it didn't taste like what I expected. Oh, Georgia wants an explanation of grits. It's not what's on the road. No, it's not. Yeah, so it's, ground dried corn that then has been cooked. Yeah. And like proper Waffle House kind of stuff. Like, so if yes, that's what it's like. Elaine got it in one. You need to watch My Cousin Vinny to learn about the rules of physics not applying in some people's kitchens because they use the cooking time of grits as legal thing. All right, I'll get to British baked beans. So yeah, kind of like frying polenta. And if you were to take the equivalent of like a full English breakfast and you took it to the American South, you would have grits. I don't know why the American regions don't have the equivalent of a full English breakfast, because going to a restaurant, and I don't eat half the stuff that's on a full English breakfast, but just the concept of being like, I'm going out to breakfast and I'm treating myself, I'm going to have a full English, is such a concept. America needs to get on board. I think the closest thing there is in marketing of breakfast in America would be the Grand Slam is that Denny's? But that's completely wrong. It's like so close and yet so far. Right. Baked beans. So America, baked beans, you've got like a sweetness factor, right? So we've got like molasses or brown sugar or something sweet going on. British baked beans are the beans in tomato sauce, a little bit of salt. The end. There's no other seasoning, okay? They have not been like slow cooked in brown sugar. It's just tomato sauce. And it's like it can be like very thin sauce, where American baked beans, it's like thick, yes? So when you expect something to taste the way that you always knew and it has the same name, and it doesn't look all that different, it just kind of looked like watery baked beans to me, because, I mean, the beans are essentially the same. But yeah, no, completely different. Yeah, no smoke element, no sweet element, just tomato sauce. There we go. Look at the Americans panicking. Must have the brown sugar. Yeah. And it's quite a common British fundraiser to do things like sit in a bath of baked beans. And when I was working in this school, they did a fundraiser where they did that, and I just suddenly was like, nope, I can't handle it. Nope, absolutely cannot. So I have baked bean phobia. Yes, it's irrational. I know it. But also, I don't need to conquer it, because tomatoes turn me out in hives ever since I had a WB. Allergies that come up after you have a baby are the weirdest thing ever, but it's a thing. For a long time, thought it wasn't a thing. Even had a first doctor tell me it's not a thing, and then later another doctor tell me, oh, it's totally a thing. Your body chemistry changes. You expect that everything would stay the same? Ha ha, it does not stay the same. And some people get new allergies that they never had before. And that was me. Okay, so we've got a start here. Obviously, it's going to need more tuckies, but we've got to start there. I had a little scrap of that pink here from this frame. Let's get that in there too. Michelle's like, it is totally a thing. Yeah, it's a thing. Elaine says baked beans are one of your 5 a day here in the UK because it has beans and tomatoes. I mean, if Americans did 5 a day, they'd still say it's a 5 a day in America with the American recipe, and they would never be able to do the traffic light nutrition things on the front of the packaging like we have here, because it would be like super red for sugar. Right. Here, but we're going to tuck some things underneath. Oh, Suki also became allergic to tomatoes after she had children. Yep. Take take the lighter blue to get it in here. Maybe just, where have I hidden my label punch recently? I haven't used that in ages. It's unlike me. Oh, And okay, this is very unlike me. In my defense, it was 2 pounds. Guess what I found? I think I had one of these when I first started scrapbooking, and I totally got rid of it because why did I have it in the first place? But now I have a reason to have it. So let's add in trains. Boop, boop. Okay. I didn't see the label. Well, let's do a bit of scallop in the light blue. Noreen says, basically, folks from the South eat with a heart attack in mind. Noreen. But heart attack on a plate, in a bag, the more pork and grease, the better. Collards and ham hocks are delicious. Yes, it's true. You can become intolerant or allergic to anything at any time in your life. It's very true. I'm still hoping on hope for you can also grow out of an allergy. Because, gosh, it would make WB's life easier if he could grow out of his. But so far, still there. And so that's because he's quite small and allergic to milk. We had to find ways to deal with that. And one of the first things that if you have a child who's basically underweight or really near to the underweight, they will tell you to add more cheese and cream, like up the fat content of the dairy in their diet. But he couldn't have any of that. And so we needed to find recipes that basically added in all of those extra things. And I found that I was finding loads of Southern cooking recipes. So I would cook him the vegetables that he liked the most, but fried in things that I definitely did not grow up thinking that you could fry stuff in. So instead of having your green beans steamed and your asparagus steamed or whatever, or roasted, he would have it fried in all sorts. Bacon fat, lard, all of it. Shell, yeah, he can have no dairy at all. He's done the whole ladder, which means even down to like the powdered stuff that gets rid of it. But the thing he's allergic to is the protein, not the lactose. So the protein is there in all kinds of dairy, whether it comes from a sheep, a goat, anything. Nope. And it breaks him out in hives that don't go away. So he will have a case of hives that then stick around for like 3 to 6 months. And he becomes more allergic or more sensitive to other things. Sorry, allergy is not the right word there. So if he accidentally... Yeah, we've definitely done that, Noreen. That child lives on bacon, and I tell you, he will go and order the vegan option with a side of bacon, because then it won't have dairy. I mean, put bacon on top, just make sure they're not cooking their bacon in butter, but most places don't. But yeah, so if he gets a case of hives where he's been accidentally exposed to it, he has to then pull back basically everything on the allergen list because everything else then affects him. So like he can have as much gluten as he wants as long as he has no dairy. If he has the tiniest bit of dairy, he really shouldn't eat bread for about 6 weeks because the only way to clear the hives is to then get everything that's even the tiniest, mildest allergen out of his system. So that's what we do. Right. Let's actually scrapbook. Yeah. Jolene says, fingers crossed, her 12-year-old just had her blood test to see her peanut and tree nut levels. Did you see any change? See, I often wonder if you had dairy and dairy and nut, and we have a friend who does. If he had both dairy and nut problems, we would be in such a jam because it kind of replaces all of the dairy elements with peanut butter. Like literally interval of this show, every show, he's eating peanut butter. Yeah, okay, so I think bring that one all the way down to tuck it behind the embellishment. I know, I can actually do what we're here for too. I know, random rubbish is fun though. It's two scallops facing each other. I think it's fine. Okay. And this is going over here. Just flat out on top of it? I think so. Okay. I feel like this corner needs more ink though. Jillian's daughter carries an EpiPen all the time, waiting on the results. Only time for improvement is hormone changes. So, testing at 12. Yep. Yep. Okay. So I could bring this one in here. I mean, I talked about so much random rubbish that probably did take 57 minutes. Not quite. Right. Remember, you could cover it up all the way, but look, it looks really nice to just add the layer. So cover it up just partially. Keep the little bit of an edge there. I guess that's where that sticker is living now. Now. Oh, weird bit is this one is really angled. I would like to straighten things up a little bit if I could. So if I did that, I need another piece that's in here. Let's bring this scallop in here. Oh, Elaine's nephew is allergic to legumes, like legumes? I'm not sure if the G is hard or soft. I never said it out loud, I don't think. Beans and peas, which seems random. It's a really common one linked with dairy allergy, though. And the one that's shockingly high is soy. So where the default to replace dairy for a long time would then be soy/soya, whichever country you're in. About 50% of people who are allergic to dairy are also allergic to soya. So that is kind of wild and weird. Right, so if I do that and put it underneath the tag, anti-caffeine. So when I lived overseas, I lived on seafood for a summer because we were on the coast, but now I can't go near shellfish. Yep, stuff like that definitely does happen. It's weird and wonderful and wild. Yep. Okay, so there. And then this needs to go under it, doesn't it? So I want to straighten this up. So let's have one that's completely straight. It's not working that. Okay, this could come this side though. There. Need something there. Right. got the flowers in here, but I don't have the pink so much. What could we bring in to bring the pink over? Polka dots in that same pink. Let's try that. Yeah, sesame is definitely on the rise. We have one activity where we have to make sure the kids don't have hummus in their packed lunches because there's a airborne sesame allergy in that group. Yeah. Sesame definitely on the rise. Kiwi, pineapple, and certain apples. Kiwi is on his secondary list. Yeah, that along with gluten, kiwi and strawberry we have to pull if he gets exposed. Yeah. And I once had a boss who had a really weird reaction. So an airborne reaction to bananas. So she would go like giddy, like uncontrollably laughing. And she was quite a serious person, not a miserable person by any means, but quite a serious person. And if somebody brought a banana to like a staff meeting or something, oh my goodness, it was wild. It was like she was a different person. And yeah, it was very unexpected kind of, how does one end up with that? But the human body does weird stuff. I'm telling you, weird stuff. Okay, so let's angle that just slightly less than this, but not all the way to there. This one was easier because of the frame and because the angle was not so big. This one is really angular. Okay. Stars will help though. Let's do the 3 stars. Anti-caffeine sister's allergic to the smell of popcorn. Wow. Oh no, don't break the punch. 2. 1 more. You can do it. You can do it. Okay. I think it was just user error and I was at a bad angle. Oh, okay. I was going to say, I feel like I had more things over here, but I went through that sticker book, which I haven't done over here. So let me ink these and then I'll go through the sticker book because I could do with just a few more tuckies in this grouping. And then that will give me what I need to be able to do tuckies with all of this. Also, it has no title yet. Okay, sticker book. Let's add in one of those clips like I had over here. Here we go. Could do the red. Did I ink it or not ink it? I inked it, but just slightly. There. Got a little envelope here that can work as a tucky above that label. That works. This is a really big expanse. So to bring something across that would be great. How does this color work? It's not bad. What types of punches do you use in your class? Simple shapes. So, hearts, stars, circles, butterflies, that sort of stuff. There's one or two examples where I use a Mickey head punch on one example, but never both examples of the same concept. All of the different, where you get two examples of the same concept, I always use a different shape. Yeah, and I won't use, there's no trains. Nothing really specific like that. Nothing weird. No trains, no airplanes, anything like that. See you later, Jean. Yeah. Let's actually put this under the clip. No, too angled. No, no. Okay, put that back there. Where could this go then to straighten things up? This side. Maybe it's harder to block this up than one would think. It's not quite working for me. This was the same color as that. This would need to go in the background though, but I'm going to make that work. Yep, you'd be good there. Georgia, that is enough. Yep. Pink in over here. Stars. So I want to bring this connected to the photo here. So we're going to have one there. And not, oh, did I angle the points on the other ones? Yeah, I did. So maybe a little bit of angle, but not a lot. Okay, now let's reframe because I know I've made a mess here. Okay. So this corner is looking like that now. So the original layers are there, here, the blue, the clip, the yellow in that corner, and then the cream and the flowers in this corner. And we're going to add a title and a bunch of tuckies to make this match those. Okay, title lettering. The giant chipboard is going to be too giant. I know it. Where could I put this? No. So we will do a special something to work out where those are going. And I want to use, those colors are close but not quite. I think it's going to work. Okay. Oh, I do like the sticker books. The sticker book's going away. Oh, is the orange making that too different? I think it is. Oh, sorry. I probably shouldn't have stopped there. I don't like it. Okay, never mind. It was a nice idea because I keep coming back to these going, I really like more pieces on here, so I should use them, but it's not today. It's not today. I'm going to use the little wood grain letters, if I've got the right letters. And, oh, I have big wood grain letters. Let's do that. All right. Yeah. Oh, George has made 3 pages but not put any photos on them. Yes, that's your job for the afternoon. Oh, yes, there's sassafras in basically everything I'm teaching at the moment. Yep. The punch video that went up last night has a original Shimelle collection. That's not sassafras, but yeah. There's, yeah. Okay. I'm wondering if this will fit. Okay. So I want the title to say special times or special guests or something like that at stage door. So I'm going to see if stage door will fit across here. There is also an ampersand. But yeah, the old stash class that's coming up has sassafras, basic gray, October afternoon, old studio calico, as well as, you know, old American craft stuff, crepe paper. Yeah. I think there's even some Keezy art for those of you who would have had that on this continent. Yeah. Okay. So that's how much space it takes up. I'm moving it. See, putting it down is quicker than 57 minutes of thinking about it. I did just tear the paper though. I did not think that I had stuck these down very hard. I thought I'd just tack them, but they're sticky. George is going to do some mixed media background. She liked the orange layering class video with the orange inked background. Yay! By the way, thank you for bearing with the website this week, just for about 48 hours, which ended last night. late last night. It kind of was, depending on what you looked at on the website and when, it may or may not have appeared like the website existed. You might have got nothing. You might have got an old version. You might got the current version. Because one of the reasons that my website looks like it's from the dark ages is that the infrastructure behind it is from the dark ages of the internet. Sorry, YouTube's giving me an error message, so we're just going to see what happens. Hopefully we're all good. So yeah, the make sure nothing's happened here. Yeah, we're good. So now that it's finished, you won't see anything different because I haven't changed anything on top yet. But I couldn't change some major stuff on top until we had upgraded all of this infrastructure that's in the behind the scenes part, like the part that actually, the server stuff that holds the website. So that is now done, which means I have no reason not to forge ahead on other stuff. It's going to be a slow process. I know a lot of people will say, if you wanted a new website, you could just hire a developer and get it done. There's history, and there's a reason why my website looks old. So we're going to go slowly and carefully so that I don't manage to accidentally drive my business into the ground. So, but it is exciting that exists now. So, just good things can happen. Now there are no S's in this, so I can't use that one. I could do wood grain from here, or I could do colored tiles. Oh, I wonder if I have the right letters. I have that color in October afternoon. I know I do. It has no E's, that one. Ah, neither of them have any E's. Nope. Okay. The error message went away, so I'm hoping you're still there. This one is the right colors, but I think it's too big. Oh yeah, it's way too big. Sometimes things look smaller in the rearview mirror and in the back of the cupboard. Right colors, if in case you have it, that's from October Afternoon Travel Girl. It would look lovely, but it's too big. So no. I have smaller. I wish I had something like the mustardy yellow, but I don't. But also, we said sassafras, so let's have a look at sassafras. Could probably make them work. First thing works. Okay. And we've got summies. Could I do surprises in this space? Because he never knows people are into watch him as you are. Yeah, I got multiple S's. I think I can do that. Let's work backwards. Hello, Susan. Do we think the red is working? Spelling the word surprises is always a bit weird. RPR just feels like it shouldn't exist, right? Oh, look at that spacing. Yes, please, and thank you. There we go. All right. Red it is. Okay, so now we have a title. We need tuckies and confetti to bring this all together. Got my journaling space here. I'm going to use those again up here. Would you put the month up here? For things that are multiple days, oh, that's the last R, within the same month, and the way I categorize all my pages is by month. I feel like this works, but I feel like I need to use the numbers. I can't do 2025 because there's only 1 0. Why did you do that to me, Sessa? The O in this font can't be. I mean, there's no 0. There was 1, and I've used it. Oh, and there's 2 2s, and I've used 1. So I could do March 25. Would you do that? Okay. But I wanted the red to come across, so I do like it in that element. Now, I want that yellow to come back into the foreground because I've covered it up a lot. And I'm going to use that with the train. Is there a tag that's in this yellow that I'm not going to use the front design and I could punch it up? Let's see. This one. Yeah. Punches really well. I guess it's just me with the thick paper and the star. It's really hard to punch, but this one is easy, punching like butter. She's lost the plot. She's using trains. See you later, Shell. Sorry, double pages definitely take me longer. Hence, all the many reasons. They're not my usual thing. It's a one-off. Okay, let's start with that many trains. I want to put it on all sorts of little straight lines, like they're a track. So obviously the train bit is, oh, did I do the wrong side? No, that's okay. Is not particularly universal in the slightest. So my suggestion for you is just to keep in mind that this is essentially a confetti element. that I'm scattering across the whole design in order to have something that brings it together. So it doesn't need to be a train. Don't forget that when you're looking at inspiration from anybody, it does not need to be literal. It can just be, oh, that's a small thing that I can scatter around and make it work. So if I used one of my little sets of chipboard pieces that are all the same color, and I went doop, 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 same exact thing. Yeah, it does not need to be train shaped, but it's fun for me. As Suki says, it's fun. Yeah. Where should I go? No. Okay, I think it has to come over here. I put one in here. Let's put one at the top here. Now, mine are all facing the same direction. You could, oh, one's on the side here. So I'll do this too. You could make them face different directions just by flipping your paper when you punch it. Don't forget. If you have a punch that faces a particular direction, just turn your paper over. Maybe here? Okay, we're going to try like that. Oh, maybe it should have gone up here, actually. Is that better? Yeah. Okay. How many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think I have 2 in this grouping. I think 2 in this grouping, and then I'm done. So that was the right number. 7 little trains. See you later, Dallas. Dun, dun, dun. Let's do one here. Okay. We need a few more layers tucked in here and dots. So we are in the final stretch. We're in the final moments before. What? Oh. Before the championship race. Sorry, I'm trying to remember his script. Thankfully, he doesn't do that on stage and stop and have to think. We're in the final moments before the championship race. All change. All change. Everyone, find new partners. Da-na-na-na-na-na. Yes, I can't do the whole show. I won't subject you to all of it, though, I promise. Let's go. See, I could have gone over here, but then I'd have this empty space. Start with what's already there. So this is pulled. Oh, I covered it all up. There was a bit of this polka dot here. You can't see it anymore. It folds it up to there. Yeah. Okay. Other elements, I had those little die cuts that I used. And I have the other half of that one exists here somewhere. Go to the stickers because it looks like I've used the die cuts that are useful, although this one could work. Let's put it behind there, I think. Actually, chop it in half so it can go in 2 places. This one behind the scallop here. Do I have any train paper? Well, I have train die cuts and chipboard because I did them in my own collection, in the Christmas collection. I don't think I have any train paper. Not to my knowledge. Smaller. Okay. This one. That border strip could work really well. Let's work that in. Okay. So take a little bit of it up here. Oh, thank you. Kelly likes the stars. Oh, Kelly is somebody that I know in real life that we always call her Kelly. I don't know why. So now I've just called you Kelly. Right. Oh, don't stick to that. How is it that most of the time we're complaining that our stickers aren't sticky enough, and then today everything is so sticky that it's stickier than I would like. Bring another little bit to where these layers end so that they don't feel like they just stop abruptly. Let's have something in this corner over here. And that brings us to this one, maybe behind the scallop. Okay. Let's bring in a few more of the stars. Now, if you had the same punch in 2 sizes, this would be a great way to use it where you've got these embellishment groupings and they're bigger, but I don't have this punch in a smaller size. So what I would do is here, I've used 3 of them. I'm not going to use 3 of them together anywhere else. Oh, Elaine thinks an old-timey set had rub-ons of steam train, and she thinks that older Tim Holtz collections, steam trains sound like something that would have been in Tim's repertoire of old found imagery and stuff like that. Have I told you that I live near a place called a picture library, and we only recently found out what that means? So it's on the walk to school every morning, and I didn't ever know what it was because it's not a place that you can like walk in, and it kind of looks like a residence. So I wondered at one point if the signage was like ghost signage, where that was what that space was at one point in time, but it's not anymore. And then I found out what it does, and this is so cool. So it is indeed a picture library. It is a library of imagery throughout history. So photographs and posters, graphic design, newspaper, artwork, all of that sort of stuff, greeting cards from a long time ago, all of this artwork and photography archived in this space. And then when companies use old found imagery, that's where they're getting it from, like places like that. And the reason I found out was because there's this t-shirt that I haven't bought yet, and I keep telling myself I'm going to buy, and I'm going to look to see if it's on sale yet. I'm just waiting for it to have a discount code or something, because I don't really buy first-hand clothes anymore, but I would really like this t-shirt. And it has a steam train, just a lovely like steam train through the country kind of countryside type artwork. And I really like the vibe of it. And then in the description box of the t-shirt, it says that the train is from the archive at this particular named picture library. And I just suddenly thought, oh, that's what they do. And then was able to ask some other people and be like, so is that, have I got this right? And it turns out, yes, that's what they do. It's an archive of historical imagery that you can borrow in a way. I mean, I think you pay for everything. For modern art project type work. So like if you wanted to put out a set of stamp sets that had old-timey trains, that's where you could go. Right, so we've got one up there, which makes me kind of want to go down here, but there's not a good place for it. So we are going to stick to this concept here. I'm not sure, I don't like that lineup. If it came further down here with the train, I like that better. Okay. And then we need dots. And dots are going to make it better. Also, I was thinking in my 57 minutes, I realized there's something I would really like to exist, and I'm guessing that I'll never be able to make it exist now because I'm going to be surprised if I get to design more product. So I'm just going to throw this idea out there into the world. Wood grain enamel dots. Please and thank you. That is all. Yeah. If I do get to design more product, that's the first thing I'm asking for. I think I have asked for it once before and it was turned down. But I could be wrong. Brown? I wouldn't have thought it, but actually not too bad. But actually I'd rather go... Do I have navy? Probably not. If I did, I would have used it by now. No. Which color will work? Actually, I'm looking at this pink going, why would I use pink? But it's the right color for that pink. It's exactly right. Let's do it. Then can we go to these spots in here? Grouping there, a little grouping over here. So that was a whole row of the dot sheet. Burp. Okay. Pink or like rose gold or normal gold? I feel like the rose gold might make the pink dots a little more connected, and I don't have any gold elements on here yet. So let's do that. Now, if you watched all of this without watching me on 2x speed, especially those of you who have stuck it out live, you'll now know this is why I don't do live stream double pages basically, it's a really long process for me. It's kind of a different look. It's not that I don't enjoy them, but there's a bit, they just are not such an easy process for me in terms of video content, in terms of live streaming. But there we go. Paper does not look Winnie the Pooh-ish. No. Yes, it's the 100 acre wood if you look at what's left of the map, but I don't think you're going to. Unless you knew it was there and you were like, I'm going to spot it. The rose gold one is saltwater taffy. Yeah. And a distress spritz. Okay. So I think that's where we stop. If I come back next week and I've added something to it, then you'll know that that's the deal. But I think this is where I'm stopping. I'll put the journaling in here, and we'll go from there. Thank you for joining me for this extra long 2-page live. Do you want a little zoom in on these? So we've got time for zoomies. That one. And the trains are now like, where's Waldo? Wally. Like, find the 7 hidden trains. When I first started scrapbooking and sharing with people on the internet, I was in a group where one of the scrapbookers, both her daughters had nicknames that were insects. I think it was bee and ladybug. And so she bought a huge set of these teeny tiny stickers, and she would hide one on each page for each kid. And so, you know, if the kid who was nicknamed B was on the page, then there would be a B hidden somewhere in it. And I used to love getting her emails in the group and then going on a search and find kind of mission to be like, where is the bee or where is the ladybird? So I kind of like the hidden trains to find. That sent me back in a happy little memory. Oh, Kelly was also there. It was the days of scrap and scans. She was probably still doing that like 2-piece gallery era as well. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining me. If you enjoyed this, you can give it a thumbs up. I probably should have said at the beginning for people who watch on the replay that you could watch on 2x speed and, you know, the layout would come together faster. And I talk really fast. But there we go. Oh, Auntie Caffeine says Scrappy Kathy on YouTube does something similar. I don't know Scrappy Kathy, so I will have a look. An animal for each of her grandkids. Cute. Yeah, so I like the idea of hidden little things. You could definitely keep adding more layers in here, but I think we have been live long enough that it is time for me to say goodbye. Have a great week. I will see you again Monday at 1:30 p.m. UK time, plus punch video tonight. See you soon. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.